So Bernie Sanders had a myocardial infarction, aka a heart attack. Okay, he went in surgery. They placed in stents, which basically opens up, the heart and allows the blood to continue to flow through. So he's having his first stents placed in at age, what is he, 78 right now, which is pretty remarkable that it's been that long. That he lasted before he needed to have stents inserted. It's pretty amazing considering so many people get him in their 60s, their 50s, some even in their 40s. So Bernie's a healthy guy, who's a marathon runner. Obviously, if you look at the guy, he's a fit dude. And that's what he is. And so just a couple of days ago, he released doctor notes from 3 different doctors saying that he is healthy and ready to go. And CNN, again, Clinton News Network, is doing horrific reporting and just outright smears of Bernie Sanders. This is really, truly remarkable.
Bernie Sanders' health note, like his doctor's note. He had promised a comprehensive health report by the end of the year. He recently had a heart attack. He's been back campaigning. But just a note, not what he promised, this comprehensive health report.
Well, I do think that he feels that this is a potential liability for him, a real liability. I mean, a serious question about his fitness for office. And I think that he's doing so well. He has no small ego and wants to keep going and wants to sort of put this issue away. And if there's something that could scare people in a more comprehensive reporting of this, there's no question he's trying to hide it. And the president is very secretive. Our president of the United States is very secretive about his health. And I think that this is not really surprising. I don't know that voters or even his rivals will even push for full transparency on this issue. They would if we get into a Bernie Sanders moment this spring or summer.
Yeah, well, it was dropped on December 30th, right? This information. So that's very interesting. AB, thank you.
So as you guys see there's a couple of things, okay? So they're claiming, and I saw this claim from a lot of people who are like, people who are anti-Bernie, right? They're going to smear all the time. And so they were smearing him with a bunch of stuff. They're saying, oh, we don't even know what medicines he's taking. I don't know if they read the actual letters, but dude, there's 3 different doctors here, okay? 3 different doctors here who do this, who wrote a letter. Now, this one being really big, this is the, he's the one, this guy, Dr., I believe it's Moynihan, I don't know how to say that. He's, I believe, the congressional, doctor. And so he's the physician that Bernie's been going to for 29 years. It says, this letter summarizes your general health history and current medical evaluation prepared to your request. My office has served as your physician for the past 29 years. So this is the guy who works for, he's like the attending physician of Congress. And he released this and he tells all the details here, giving the blood pressure, BMI, pulse, glucose, vitamin D level, cholesterol, LDL, HDL cholesterol. Tells about his old, his medical conditions. I didn't know he had hypothyroidism, by the way. That's interesting. And then it literally says right here, your current daily medications include atorvastatin, aspirin, clopidogrel, levothyroxine, and lisinopril. Man, these are lisinopril. Those are really hard things to say, man. Wow. They get really difficult to say. But there's literally a list of medicines here, and this is a statin, obviously, so it's to control cholesterol levels. So it has a bunch of this stuff, and then it talks about his his ECG, and then he also even had a nuclear stress test. So nuclear stress test, I think what it does is it examines the arteries in the heart to see how the arteries are functioning, if I understand it correctly, and it gives this this huge breakdown. And this is the guy who's been with 29 years. This is the dude, the physician, in Congress, So he does that. And then you've got this one from Philip Addies as well. Who's another doctor, University of Vermont Medical Center. And then you've got one from Martin M. Lewinter, who's another doctor, who's attending cardiologist at the UVM Medical Center. So there's 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? So all of these are, it says here that, his heart function is stable, well preserved. His blood pressure and heart rate are in optimal ranges. He's getting regular exercise, and his exercise tolerance based on quantitative cardiopulmonary exercise testing is well above average. He's receiving several medications that are routinely prescribed after a heart attack and stenting procedure. this point, I see no reason he cannot continue campaigning without limitation, and should he be elected, I'm confident he has the mental and physical stamina to undertake the rigors of the presidency. So again, these are 3 different doctors, and they're trying, like, this right here is an incredibly comprehensive report of his health. It gives you every detail you could possibly ask for, okay? And not only are they just making shit up, about, oh, this isn't a real comprehensive report. Dude, there's 3 fucking doctors who say that he's good, and that is a legit comprehensive report. It tells you the meds he's on, his cholesterol levels, blood pressure, etc., etc., okay? ECG, all that stuff, okay? Echocardiogram. So, and then the craziest part is, and they try to do this all the time, they always try to make him look like Donald Trump because they want to make him look negative. They compare this to Donald Trump and how Donald Trump had that whole episode where he, submitted to the doctor in the White House, and he basically ended up, there wasn't really much information on it. It was saying he was having chest palpitations or something like that. Some people think it might have been a panic attack. I don't think it could have been a heart attack. I think that would have leaked. But they're trying to compare him to Donald motherfucking Trump, dude. This is CNN, and this is the reason why people turn to independent media, is because they are so biased and they're such massive frauds and liars that people have to turn to independent media. And by the way, there's another host, a guy named Nobles, I think is his name, on CNN, who broke this down in a much better way. Where he broke down, he even had like a cardiologist who's a specialist. Might have even been cardiopulmonary, although I'm not sure. I forgot. But, this breakdown is incredibly dishonest. And there also seems to be this weird, myth that they try to spread, which is that, oh, Bernie Sanders is an egomaniac. He's a narcissist. He's all about himself. And I've never understood where this claim came from, because Bernie Sanders' slogan is not me, us. He's running on the set of ideas. He represents a movement. He has a set of ideals. It has really nothing to do with Bernie Sanders himself. It has to do with his ideas. So I don't know where they came up with this nonsense that he has this big ego and all this stuff. And they're trying to do this sort of this conspiratorial stuff. What is he hiding? What is he hiding about his health? And they're trying to smear him in any way possible. And so that's what you're going to expect from CNN. But this is ultimately why people are switching over to independent media.